This is Scorpio Stargate Energies Part 3. In the first two videos, I talked a little bit about the overview about Scorpio and how it rests on the shadow side of the galactic center, and how those of us with Scorpio energies in our prominent placements are here as healers, transformers, medics, energy, transmuters, and this energy is in all of us. It is not necessarily that just because you don't have the top three in Scorpio, you have Scorpio somewhere in your house. So if you do your sidereal placements, find out what house is ruled by Scorpio, and I will tell you these are the places where the Scorpio energies are highlighting in your soul to actively transform your life. So in the last one, I talked about the first or right Scorpio rising in the first house. That is the aspect of you bring that Scorpio energy into your body. You're extremely intuitive of what you need to do in order to keep yourself healthy. But you are really drawn to disease. You are really drawn to physical or mental illness, as opposed to how energy reacts with the body. So you're subconsciously in your shadow attracted to the things which destroy your body, whether that's energy or toxic chemicals or whatnot. So you need to learn how to balance that with self-care. And that is the Taurus in the seventh house, which is going to balance that with your self-care and making sure that you give that tender love that you would give to a lover or to your child. You give that to your own body. You have to see your body as your child that you are taking care of. That is going to get you through. In the second house, this is where Scorpio has to do with your resources. So you are very attuned to imbalances in economic things and happening in the world. Also in the environment, you may be an active environmentalist. And what you need to do is balance that out with Taurus in your eighth house. And that is balancing out with active measures to help. So whether it's you doing charity to help feed other people, house other people because you see the injustice, or you go up and you go clean up the environment because you're upset, instead of yelling and getting online, do things that actively change, then transform the nature of your reality. Third house is communication, and that is how you speak. So people with Scorpio in a third house can be very caustic. They understand speech in very deep ways, and they understand which speech is harmful. And the opposite of that is Taurus in the ninth house. And so what you need to learn is how to approach loving spaces through being taught by a guru or by holistic spiritual practices that can help you transform your speech into something that aids the world instead of destroys it. Fourth house is, so Scorpio is in your fourth house. That is your home, roots, family, self-care. This is about your mother. This is how you nurture yourself. So you may be drawn to lack of nurturance, so people who do not nurture you, and so you may often be betrayed in times of great need if Scorpio is in your fourth house. And so what you need to do is enhance that with Taurus in the 10th house by setting aside money, being frugal, being diligent with your career, going after independence and sovereignty, and acting with respect to yourself and demanding respect from the world. Do not let people pick on you. Do not let people use you as a scapegoat. You find the places where you can grow and thrive. And that is the Taurus in 10th house, kind of pulling you into healing that. If Scorpio is in your fifth house, this is romance, love, creativity, the inner child. This may mean that maybe you have a history of childhood trauma with regards to sexuality. It may also be an imbalance with sexuality. Either you have inappropriate sexual relationships or you have no sexual relationships whatsoever. And that is balanced by the 11th house, which is the Taurus is pulling you into holistically taking care of yourself by traveling, getting out there and connecting with healthy people in the community in a platonic communal sense, connecting with good platonic communal relationships are going to pull you out of the codependent, lustful relationships that are probably destroying your life. All right, sixth house. Sixth house in Scorpio, this is, it's an intense house. It brings out a lot of enemies in one's life. You are going to have a lot of enemies, a lot of people who want to destroy you. So you're going to have a kind of a chip on your shoulder when people do come to you. So you need to heal that with 12th house, connection to spirit, connection with your higher self, connection with your past lives. You need balance, spiritual balance in your life to heal that sixth house, which brings a lot of enemies out. Also, people who have sixth house Scorpio, I have noticed, are really good with the medical industry. They see how the medical industry is corrupt. They see how to blend holistic and Western medicine in amazing ways. And I think they will be our future doctors and future medical intuitives who are going to help people, help the world actually become a more healthy and productive place. All right, and here we go into seventh house. Seventh house in Scorpio, relationships, marriage. This is obsessive relationships. This is relationships in which you or your partner are intensely jealous. There may be a lot of darkness. You may be drawn to toxic relationships where there's a lot of possession going on. It may also be the opposite of where you just don't want to have any relationships. You have an inability to kind of like really connect with others, and you have a tendency to be emotionally avoidant. And this is often due to trauma. And the best way is to heal is through that Taurus in your first house. And this is development of self, therapy, journaling, doing something creative to express yourself in the world. Express body arts like martial arts or ballet or dance or yoga to get you out of your relationships with others and into the relationship with your own body. Because the reason why your relationships are imbalanced is because you're not integrating your body and yourself, your true authentic self, into the relationship. You're becoming somebody different. So the key is being you, and you will attract people who are of similar energy and they won't hurt you so much. Scorpio in the 8th house. These are occult intuitives. These people, they understand the occult in ways that many people don't. They understand spells. They understand how energy works. They understand the exchange of energy through intimacy, sex, even through death and loss. They understand this interplay of energies. But what they often struggle with is taking care of themselves either physically or financially. And so being financially and physically solvent and really taking care of nurturing their lives around them, making sure their home is clean, making sure it's cozy, and doing a lot of self-care in the home is going to be really important. Scorpio in the 9th house. This is the house that is just so powerful for people who are connected to spirituality, people who just automatically know how to find the right teachers, but they may also find toxic teachers. So learning to balance the 3rd house, which is courage, to know that the greatest teachers out there give you the greatest amount of courage that allows you to become sovereign and strong. Scorpio in the 10th house. This is your career, your public image, your reputation. You may struggle with not having many careers or not having many opportunities and you bounce from career to career, I'm going to have to do an addendum with 10th, 11th, and 12th houses. So I will create another video.